welcome to Cameo Kitchen, where we take your favorite fantasy foods from movies, television shows, and video games and make them into reality. My name is Haley, and today we will be making KRONK'S spinach puffs from the Emperor's New Groove. Let's get started. Oh, right, the Cameo. Did you have anything in mind? The poison for KUZCO. The poison picked especially to kill KUZCO. KUZCO'S poison. I can work with that. Let's do it.
Oh, right. The poison for KUZCO. The poison chosen specially to kill KUZCO. KUZCO'S poison. That poison?
Yes, that poison.
Got you covered.
So this recipe calls for 10 ounces of frozen spinach. And I used frozen spinach because it's much easier to drain the liquids out of it. So I have 10 ounces of frozen spinach I measured in this bowl and I drained it. And now we're going to add a half a cup of chopped onion. I forgot to preheat the oven. We're going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Make sure you chop off both ends of the onion and peel it. Don't want that peel getting in our recipe. Alright, once you have it rough chopped, measure out half a cup and add it to your spinach. So we have half a cup, add it to our spinach. Let's move all of this to the side. Now we're going to add 1 clove of crushed or chopped garlic, minced as small as you can get it. You can use a regular head of garlic, or I like this crushed garlic you can find at Trader Joe's. It's just crushed and 1 little cube is 1 clove, so it makes it nice and easy. Pop that in there. Next we're going to add some feta cheese. Half a cup of this to the mixture. Alright, now we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now when you're measuring salt, make sure you do not measure it over the bowl that you're going to put it in. A lot of times it comes out more than you're expecting and you don't want anything too salty. So I'm going to measure it over the sink right here. Poured a lot there, okay? 1/4 teaspoon of salt into the mixture. We're also doing a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Same advice for the salt, don't pour it directly over your bowl. 1/4 teaspoon and it goes. Okay, now we're going to add 2 eggs to bring everything together. Eggs are great for combining ingredients and kind of sticking them together when there's not a lot of liquid in them. 1 egg, 2 eggs. Now I gotta go wash my hands. And I'm gonna take a spoon and mix everything together. Okay, now we take our puff pastry. You can find this at pretty much any grocery store. Sometimes they're frozen, so you might have to check the freezer section. Now we're going to oh, it comes in a couple sheets. That's nice. I'm going to unroll it. And it's pretty thick, so we're going to roll it out a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to cut it into squares. I'm going to cut against each seam and then cut it in thirds again. Alright, and then you want to spoon just a little bit of your mixture along the diagonal of each square. And it's preheated. Awesome. Perfect timing. You don't want to overfill them or else they'll ooze out in the oven. Oops, that was a little too much. Okay, and then when you have your filling, you're going to pinch the edges together and kind of fold it over because puff pastry likes to puff in the oven and the seams may come undone. And then we're going to pinch the end in to really make it into that cone shape like Kronk has. Alright, now we're going to put this on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Okay, and one last thing to make it shine is some egg wash. So you crack an egg and add a little tablespoon of water, but I'm going to wash my hands first. So we have our egg and now we're going to add a tablespoon of water. And we whisk it together. And we brush it over every exposed part of these wonderful spinach puffs to get a nice glaze and a little crunchy outside of the puff pastry. Alright, and once you've done that, into the oven for about 25 minutes. And wash my hands again. And let's not forget about the Cameo. Now we're gonna make our poison. So for our poison, I'm going to be making a spicy pepper sauce to resemble the hot pink poison drink in the Emperor's New Groove. This movie is set in Peru, so I found a spicy Peruvian pepper sauce. We're gonna start with a half a cup of mayo. We're going to add 2 to 4 tablespoons of our spicy pepper paste. I am using the ají limo, which is a chili native to the northern coast of Peru. And it's bright red, so I figured I could make that pink. We're going to add 2 to 4 tablespoons of this paste. And since we want to make it super spicy like a poison, I'm going to go for it and add 4. And I'm just going to mix everything right in this measuring cup. Now we're going to add in half a teaspoon of powdered or ground mustard. If you don't have, whoops, spilling over. If you don't have the dry stuff, you can substitute real mustard. Half a teaspoon of powdered mustard. Now we're going to add in the juice of 1 lime. You can really use any pepper from Peru. I know a common Peruvian hot sauce is with the Rocoto pepper, which is also red, but I couldn't find any in my store, so I'm using the limo. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. And now, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And season with a dash of salt and a dash of pepper. Alright, and mix up your poison pepper sauce.
How shall I do it?
Since it was a poison beverage in the film, we're gonna pour our sauce into a nice little wine glass.
It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant!
And now we're just gonna wait for our spinach puffs to finish in the oven, and then we'll take them out and try it with our poison. Now they're ready, so I'm gonna take them out of the oven. Ooh, they look so good! They look so good. Look at that nice golden color. And now we're gonna let them rest for 5 minutes so you don't burn your mouth on the hot spinach puff. Alright, now that that we've waited enough time to let it cool down, we'll plate it up. KRONK'S spinach puffs and our poison drink for Kuzco. Hey Mom, come here for a sec.
What did you make?
I made KRONK'S spinach puffs from the Emperor's New Groove and our poison drink for Kuzco. You want to try?
Oh yes.
Alright, so you're dipping it in the poison drink. Look at that lovely pink color.
It's a lot of poison.
Alright, cheers.
It's delicious. It's a little spicy. The spice is delicious.
Alright, a success!